Good evening. The SABC has reliably learnt that COSATU General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi has been expelled from the Federation. 31 national office bearers voted to dismiss Vavi and only one voted against it. At the same time, ANC Secretary General Mantashe has lashed out at COSATU national office bearers. Mantashe says problems facing COSATU are not insurmountable and need experienced leadership. In a media conference held on Sunday, Vavi challenged his fellow COSATU national office bearers to boot him out. He also announced that he will be boycotting the Federation's two-day special CEC meeting that kicked off today. It's the second consecutive CEC meeting Vavi is boycotting. For more on that, we're now joined by political analyst Mr. Friedman. Mr. Friedman, thank you so much for joining us. First things first, what do you make of the latest developments at COSATU? Surely it shouldn't come as a surprise to many people that COSATU would eventually want to expel the General Secretary.
Well, no, it's not a surprise, but I think what is really important is that the events of the last 2 days have shown that we are now looking at a very serious split in COSATU. I think it's now just about inevitable that we will see the formation of a new trade union federation which will compete with COSATU for those workers currently in COSATU. And this new federation will not compete just in a few industries, in the metal industry, in the food industry and so forth. I think we can expect over time to see this competition taking place in all the industries where unions are represented. So we are now looking almost certainly at a situation in which you will have a competition between two sets of unions in all South Africa's major industry, and that is a huge development in labour relations.
Now, what does Vavi take with him as he leaves the Federation, COSATU?
Well, I don't think this is essentially about Mr. Vavi. I mean, I think that it was at one stage about Mr. Vavi, and I'm sure that Mr. Vavi would not be taking the positions that he's taking at the moment if he was not aware that something new is afoot. And I'm sure that he would hope to be part of that something new. But it really is about what sort of workplaces we're going to have in the next while or so, given that you're going to have this very fierce competition between trade unions.
Now, COSATU's relevance under the current climate, where does it go from now? What does this mean for the Federation?
Well, it means that it's now under very serious pressure if as I say, this new federation is formed, because for many years now, COSATU has been able to take for granted the support of most unionized workers in this country. Now there's a very real prospect that it's going to have to face competition from another set of unions. In fact, this is already happening because NUMSA, which has left COSATU, is already competing with COSATU unions in various industries. What we're now probably looking at is a situation where COSATU, in every industry where it is organized in this country, is going to have to compete with a rival for the support of workers. And that will mean that it will have to be far more effective at representing workers than it has been over the last few years.
Now, Mr. Friedman, Vavi's expulsion from COSATU, what does this mean for COSATU and the alliance partners?
Well, as I say, it means almost inevitably that, COSATU's already lost NUMSA. It means that you will probably see it lose 7 more unions in the next while or so, because those are unions who've made it clear that they're not happy with the current direction. But I think over time, if you look at one other important decision which COSATU apparently took today, which was to admit a new metal workers union, which will be a rival to NUMSA. In the same way, the new federation will no doubt form its own unions, which will be rivals to COSATU unions. So I think that, you're now looking at a very different labour relations environment to the one we've been seeing, and one in which COSATU will be weakened, and COSATU no longer can take its support for granted. It's going to have to compete for that support with a rival.
Mr. Friedman, thank you so much for joining us. That was analyst Mr. Friedman joining us on the line.